Okay, so today we're going to be making these teardrop earrings, and you can do this with a pendant. Um, and so this is a completed set. I don't have a chain for this yet. I'm waiting to purchase some. But what we are going to use for this project is I'm going to use 20 gauge silver parawire, 26 gauge silver parawire. I have two earring hooks, ear wires, whatever you prefer to call them, two jump rings. I don't know the size to them, but because I just have a random bag of jump rings that I just took two sizes, and it'll be a good size. I have flush cutters. I have these pliers that I can never remember what they are called. It escapes me. It'll probably come to me later. And then I have my round nose, chain nose, maybe chain nose. Let's call him. Someone's gonna correct me, and that's okay. And then I also have a knitting needle that I have a marking on here. I use this to make my loop at the top of my earring, and you'll see how I do that. So I already have things in stages. I've made this set, and then I did post it on a Facebook jewelry group that I'm in, and people wanted to see how I do it. So I figured, all right, I'll do another one. I'll do a tutorial, and hopefully I can help people out. So I started making another set, and this is one of them that I have finished. It is a silver wire. Oh, I forgot. See, beads. These I picked up at Hobby Lobby. They were on sale. I think they were like 97 cents. They're pretty nice. Nice little beads. So I already have one completed, as you can see. Okay. And then I have one that I've started, and then I'm going to do one from the beginning. So basically this one is going to be my pendant, and you can do the same. I'm using the same technique for the pendants as the earrings. Okay, the pendant, I don't need it to be exactly the same size. I can make it smaller, I can make it larger than the earrings, and today I'm just gonna play around with it a little bit and see what I do. But I'm gonna take about 6 inches. Oops. I'm gonna spread these things out so I don't knock all my beads everywhere. And I'm gonna cut about 6 inches off. So when you're doing the earrings, if you want to make them the same size, what I suggest is measure out two of the same lengths. And then as we do this part where you're forming the teardrop, I would go ahead and put them on top of each other, like your two pieces. Put them next to each other, like so, and bend them together. But I'm only gonna do one, because limited supplies here, and I don't really want to do another wire order just yet. I'd like to wait a little while longer. Okay, and please forgive the background here. This is a glass tabletop, and that's over a piece of wood, and I figured it would just be nicer if you didn't get a reflection. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing throughout this, and I'll try to go slow, and I'll try to make sense. I'll do my best at least. coffee, sorry. Okay, so how I start this is, and I'm trying to stay in frame, so I'm kind of looking through. I film on my phone, so I'm trying to make sure I stay in frame and watch what I'm doing here and watch what I'm doing on the camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it and I'm going to bend one side over the other. So it's in a nice little teardrop shape already. You don't really have to manipulate this shape too much because the wire kind of just wants to go in that direction anyways. So comparing it to my earrings, it's a little bit bigger, and that's okay. So I'm going to take it, hold it, and I'm going to twist right here 2 times. 1 time, 2 times. Okay, and it may go out of shape a little bit, but beautiful thing, you can just bend it back. And if you want to try to bend the curve back in, I suggest using your thumbnail. And this is also handmade jewelry, so you know you're not gonna get, I mean, at least I don't get the exact same thing twice. You can try, but I think that's kind of the beauty of handmade, is that there are going to be little differences in all of your pieces. So after I have the bend, the one that's in the back, if you can see that, it's coming around back. This one I'm going to bend up, and this one I'm going to bend almost like a 90 degree, so you can see that. And don't worry about it getting all wonky in here. It'll work out, okay? So the first thing I do after I do this is I'm going to take my needle, my knitting needle, and I'm going to put my wire on here, and I'm going to bend the wire around the needle. And I'm going to make the wire I'm bending come over this wire here. So you kind of have to bend it and manipulate it a little bit. So you're trying to form a little loop. Okay? And as you can see, you're like, whoa, that looks really gross. Don't worry, you can fix it. It's wire, it moves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten the whole thing out like this, and that's it. It's now straight. So with this wire here that I made the loop out of, that's coming out this way, I'm gonna hold this, the loop part, and then I'm gonna wrap this, oops, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna hold the loop part and I'm gonna wrap this wire around the like little the bottom of the loop here. So you can do it a couple of ways. You can hold it and just wrap it with your fingers. You can hold it and take a plier and wrap it around. And so that's what I'll do. Okay. And I'm just going to make it kind of wrap 1 time around it, because when we're done, this is just so that we can start wrapping, our beads around our main wire here. Okay. I'm going to leave this part alone. This is going to be our swirl right there. So I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave that little thing. And also, I'm very sorry about my nails. We are dealing with a pandemic here, and I'm an essential employee at a grocery store, so I am constantly washing my hands, which we all know doesn't really work nicely with fingernail polish. So I'm sorry about that. I'll try better next time. Okay, anyways, so after we get this part, I'm going to take about an arm's length of my 16 gauge wire. I'm sorry, my 26 gauge wire. 16, goodness gracious. 26 gauge wire. And you know, it comes off like this. So I really, if you have a set of nylon jaw pliers, this would be a good time to try to straighten out your wire as much as you can. I do not have said pliers right now, so I just use my hands, and as you can see, or maybe can't see, I don't know, it does the job. It's fine. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my pendant and I'm going to put the wire behind it up close towards where the little twist is, okay? And what I want to do is I'm going to start on this side so I can wrap the wire and the beads all around and meet back up over here. So how I do this, I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail, and then I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to push it through the loop one time, and then I'm going to do it again, and I want it to kind of get as close as possible. So if you can see, there's two little wraps. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a bead. Now these beads are like, they have like an iridescent. I just stopped recording. I don't know why I did that. I meant to zoom. So these beads are, they have like an iridescent, oh, there we go, finish to them. These ones I did here, that was the same thing. They're different beads, but they're not all one color bead. And I also did another like little heart pendant that I don't have right here. But they were all different color. They were multi beads. So what I tried to do is I just grab a bead and string it onto my 26 gauge wire. Okay, now you can pick it up with your wire if you want to, but to me that's just a little more frustrating than just picking up a bead. So, and at first your wire may slip, so go ahead and just push it through. So there's really nothing fancy to this, at least the way that I do it. I just make sure that the bead is as close to the body wire. That's what I'm calling it. The body wire, the foundation wire, call it what you will. I try to make sure it's as close to it as possible. And then I'm always wrapping to where I'm going over the wire through the loop. And then I kind of just want to use, I kind of just want to use my nail, my fingernail, and do it again. And what I'm basically doing is I'm pushing that wire down so it stays next to the first wrap, okay? So then I'm going to do another one. Here's my wire. And I'm going to put the bead on the wire, bring it all the way down. Okay. Hold it close, push it through, and then I'm just using my nail to bring the wire back right next to it. Again. Okay. So you have 2 wraps, a bead, 2 wraps, a bead, 2 wraps, a bead. And I do try to get the wraps as close together as possible. I don't want to push them so close to where the beads start to look like they're crowded. But I want them close enough together so it kind of looks uniform. So I'm going to take my bead all the way down. Okay. Close. Push it through the teardrop. One time. Two times. So you can see the beads are starting to sit there nicely. And you keep doing that all the way around. It's just 2 loops or 2 wraps, put a bead on, 2 wraps, put a bead on. And it comes out looking like this. So I'm gonna come over. This one I've already put a few beads on. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'll probably I may do a time lapse of me doing this. It may be hard to see, but I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna come back at normal time when I have a couple more beads, and then I'll show you how to finish it off. Okay, so did a little bit of a time lapse. I have a few more beads to put on. So one thing, sorry, allergies and coffee. Okay, so one thing that I've noticed is that posture is kind of important when you're doing any kind of beading or jewelry making or crafting in general, where you're looking down. You really want to try to make sure you have good posture, because as I'm doing this and I'm trying to pick up the beads, my hands are going numb. I actually have a herniated, no, let's not say herniated. Let's just say I have a neck problem. I have a bulging disc in my neck. And so sometimes when I sleep wrong or I have my head down, looking down for too long, it makes my hands go numb. So that's why it's kind of sometimes hard for me to pick up one single bead. So I'll just like get one on my finger like that and string it, because it's just a little easier for me. Anyways, that's not important. I'm not a medical professional. I just want you guys to just try to be as good to your body as possible when you're doing things, and try to remember to look up a little while, take a break if you need to, because it's not worth getting carpal tunnel or whatever in your wrist for doing repetitive motions or having neck problems because you're too busy looking down. All right, so let me zoom in. Okay, I have a couple more beads that I can put up here. So I'm going to try to stay in frame. Again, I'm on my camera, or I'm on my phone, so it's not super easy. But, oh my gosh, my nails look awful. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to put it close up and then push through the teardrop, wrap around once, push through the teardrop, wrap around twice, and then I'm just kind of using my thumbnails to bring the beads closer together, or the wires closer together. Grab a bead, string it on, close, push through the teardrop, wrap once, push through the teardrop, wrap twice. Okay, so I'm at the end. That's fine. I don't really want to, I mean, I can pull down. Yeah, all right. I'm going to pull down and I'm going to add one more because I have a little space. And you can make these as close or as far apart as you want. Like, it's your jewelry, so, you know, don't let me tell you how to do it. You know, you do what you think is nice looking and what you find pleasing to the eye, and do that. It's art. Enjoy it. All right, but this is going to be the last bead that I put on because I don't like them super, super close. Sorry, so I'm going to push through. Sometimes this last bead is tricky. That's one time. And wrap through, that's 2 times. Okay, so I'm going to cut off about that much of my thin wire. Now, I have 2 little thin wires hanging out here. 1, 2. I'm going to take these wires and I'm going to wrap them around that twist. Okay? And you can use, again, you can use your pliers if you want to, or you can just use your fingers. But I'm going to try to wrap, I'm going to at least wrap them around two or 3 times. I wrapped it around 2 times. So what I want to do is I am going to take my flush cutters and I'm going to cut as close as I can right here. Cut off that excess wire. Then I'm going to take these, which I am going to look up and see what these are actually called. Maybe chain nose, maybe, I don't think maybe they're flat needle. I don't know. But I'm going to take them and I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So see right here, we have these little wires sticking out. I'm going to press and twist so I can get them down so there's no pokey parts. You don't want any pokey parts in your wire jewelry because you don't want to hurt somebody. Okay? So then I'm going to take this guy and we're going to swirl him. Or her. It doesn't matter. I don't know why I called it a guy. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to grab the end of my wire and I'm going to twist. So I have that little hook there. And I kind of want it to be a closed spiral. See how that's like pretty close and tight. So what I'm going to do is these ones are flat here. Take these and I'm just going to slowly close up that little twist. Then I'm going to take them, I'm going to grip, and I'm going to start twirling in. And you can manipulate it. And just use your pliers. Try not to get too much of a death grip on them because it can damage your wire. That coating that they have on it, like parawire, it's coated, and it can damage it. So try not to do that. So then we have this little extra guy. This is the one we wrapped around. What I do is I just tuck it in. You can actually lift the spiral up, and I just take my pliers and tuck it in. And then I can take and push the spiral back down. And then you want to rub your fingers over all of it and just make sure that no pointy bits are sticking out. So now we have 2 earrings. Okay, 2 earrings. They are pretty super close in size. Then I'm going to take my ear wires and my little jump rings. Okay, so the thing with jump rings, some of you probably know this, some of you may not, and that's okay. But when you're working with jump rings, you don't want to open them this way. You want to take them, and I use 2 pliers just because it's easier, and twist open like that. Okay, and then I'm going to add my earring on, and then my ear wire, and I want to make sure that the ear wire is gonna like that's the front of the earring, so I want to make sure that the hook is gonna sit right. And then I'm going to twist it back. Okay, and then we have 1 earring. Okay, take my jump ring, twist it open, put my earring on. Oops, put my earring on, put my ear wire on, and close it back up. Okay, and that's how I make my sorry, my teardrop beaded earrings. And like I said, with the pendant, you can go ahead, and if you were making a pendant along with me, or if you wanted to do it again after you've watched this once, you can go ahead, bead it all the way around, and you're finishing it off the same exact way. And you can, this can just be your bail, or you can add a couple more jump rings. It's whatever you want to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. I'm planning on putting out more videos weekly. And so I hope you guys are all taking care of yourself, and happy jewelry making, happy crafting. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.